Now at 9, newly discovered issues with a historical Pittsburgh building bring the community together. Plus,
as the 4th of July nears, concerns about how tariffs are impacting firework prices are rising. I'm Samantha Walker, and coming up, I speak with a local store about how they're handling the situation.
The Supreme Court ends its term with a major ruling on judicial authority impacting birthright citizenship. I'm Rebecca Castor at the Supreme Court with the details coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The fireworks industry says tariffs are having a big impact on their business. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Anthony Saviello. Last year, Americans spent more than $2 billion on fireworks for the 4th of July season. But as KOAM Samantha Walker reports, tariffs on Chinese goods are adding stress to the booming business.
Some Americans wait all year to make a boom on the 4th of July, but according to the American Pyrotechnics Association, roughly 95% of all fireworks come from China, and with tariffs, that has the potential to really impact prices.
That's what makes the tariff situation right now unique to the fireworks industry, in that we really don't have a domestic alternative, a viable domestic alternative. There's none produced here.
The owners of Central City Fireworks in Joplin say, like everything else, firework prices are impacted by things like inflation. But when tariffs on China were announced, they knew those could have a much bigger impact.
The 30%, that was a little concerning. It went to 50 then, that was even more. When the tariffs went to 145%, that's when panic kind of set in. The United States retailers, wholesalers had to start canceling containers, pausing things, because that's just not an option.
Right now, the tariff on fireworks is around 30%. In 2019, when there were tariff concerns with China, fireworks were excluded from the increased tariffs. That's not the case this time, an issue organizations like the American Pyrotechnics Association are lobbying to change. In a letter to President Trump, the organization says the tariffs will, quote, cripple the hyper-seasonal industry. They go on to say, quote, the fireworks industry is unique, and our request aligns with your commitment to strengthening American businesses while protecting America's patriotic traditions. At Central City, the owners were able to get most of their stock in before tariffs took place.
We did have a small tariff on one of our containers.
But for this year, the business is eating that cost, so customers won't see the impact.
We feel like they come here due to our pricing structure, and we didn't want to lose their trust in that. So we chose, on the tariffs we did pay this year, to take that out of our part. We didn't factor it in whatsoever.
But she says the future still isn't clear for the industry or her business.
The entire industry is concerned about 2026 at this point. And we're hoping to get good news anytime. But right now, I think the next change is going to be August 11th, and we're hoping to get good news then.
For now, she's excited to see the 4 states celebrate.
We have been very happy to see people still coming out, still wanting to celebrate, still wanting to get together with family, and we're hoping that continues.
Reporting in Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The American Pyrotechnics Association expects record sales for next year's 4th of July because it's the 250th anniversary of U.S. independence. The organization hopes to see a different situation before then. Well, let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney for a first look at weather.
Well, once all those showers cleared out, it ended up being a really gorgeous afternoon. You can see our sunset, just all the colors, just really beautiful out there. Temperatures dropping down to the mid 70s now in Joplin. We do have a few showers still going on just south of Joplin. As you can see, it's been dwindling, so we're not looking at a huge threat there anymore. Might just get some sprinkles to some light showers south of Miami out to Grove, into Seneca, Neosho, and Pineville, but those are all going to start to die down here shortly. So looking at our future radar, you can see how those showers really just dissipate, but we've got our second round coming in after midnight tonight. Those are going to continue to push in, but mainly, again, those light showers, just a little bit of sprinkles, a mist. They dissipate as we head into Saturday morning. We've got some more storms that are going to push in along I-44, and I'm going to have all those details coming up.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. A Pittsburgh landmark looks to lay down the foundation for another 100 years in the community. The Pittsburgh Public Library first opened its doors in 1912 after steel industrialist Andrew Carnegie donated $40,000 to the construction of the building. In recent years, however, it has discovered the foundation of the library had significant settling issues. Now it looks like help is on the way.
Summer, Pitt Foundation is here, and they're installing 20 to 25 steel piers under the northwest corner of the original foundation. So we're hoping that we'll take care of the problem, and the library will be around for generations to come.
The 113-year-old building was one of the few Carnegie libraries with prairie-style architecture. Construction on the foundation started a while ago, and the crew is set to complete the job in the next few weeks. Well, with the 4th of July holiday fast approaching, the fireworks soon to light up the sky, Carthage Humane Society wants to urge pet owners to take extra precautions to help keep your furry friends safe. They're hosting a special microchipping event tomorrow. The organization says more pets go missing during 4th of July than any other time of year.
Enter the information for you. A lot of people, that's where the breakdown is, because they are responsible for entering their information online themselves, and then they get busy or they forget and they don't get registered, which makes the microchip worthless.
This event takes place tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The cost is only $20. Students at Pittsburgh Community Middle School celebrated a monumental moment this afternoon with their graduation. The Compass Academy Network program educates students across the 4 states and rural communities. Students spend 4 weeks learning everything from leadership skills to civic engagement at no cost to their families. Educators say the skills students learn will shape their future success and stay with them for a lifetime.
8 to 2:30 each day, and so they spend the day doing all kinds of different subjects, including creative writing and art and math and decision making, team building, lots of hands-on projects, and so they work through projects individually and as a group, and completing them brought us to this day today. They've grown a lot and get to graduate and celebrate.
After the graduation, students gathered to enjoy some refreshments. Coming up, summer heat risks.
As summer gets into full swing, you might be at risk for heat-related illnesses. I'm Alexis McAdams in New York. I'll tell you what to watch out for coming up next.
Summer is here to stay. The first heat wave soared in less than a week after the official start of the season. While at least one related heat death was confirmed, experts are asking you to take a look at medications to see if you're at higher risk for heat-related illnesses the next time the mercury goes higher. Fox News correspondent Alexis McAdams has the story.
The first major heat wave of the season has hit, and temperatures soared to triple digits in parts of the eastern United States.
We got like neck coolers, hat coolers, plenty of water.
Even though the heat wave broke and more mild seasonal temperatures have moved in, experts warn some people are more at risk for heat-related illnesses, like those who take some over-the-counter drugs and common prescriptions need to watch out. Some medicines can interfere with our body's ability to really effectively cool down in the extreme heat. Stimulants for ADHD, blood pressure meds, and other heart medications can increase the risk of heat-related illnesses.
Some of the warning signs when we start having an interaction between heat and our medications are a lot of the symptoms from heat-related illnesses like exhaustion and heat stroke.
You can continue taking the medications, but experts say there are ways to minimize your risks.
Focusing on 3 things. It's rest, shade, and hydration.
And it's not just about the temperature.
It's about the heat index. It's also about the air quality.
Over-the-counter allergy medications can contribute to heat-related illnesses, so patients have to weigh the medicine's effect and its side effects.
Because as there's more allergens in the air, people will take more over-the-counter medications and can run into unexpected troubles.
So when should you seek medical attention here? Well, that would be when symptoms are persistent or if they turn severe, like causing a person to collapse or even pass out. Reporting in New York, I'm Alexis McAdams, Fox News.
Well, the Community Health Center of Southeast Kansas held a graduation ceremony today. The graduating class represented the first class of family medicine trained physicians from the first new family medicine residency program in Kansas in decades. For one graduate, the experience that came with the training was a life-changing one.
I'm kind of speechless. It's been a very awesome experience. I mean, it's been a lot of learning and developing my own skills as a family medicine doctor, but it's also been a great opportunity to kind of help expand the program and kind of turn it into what it is today, and just help pave the way for future residents.
The class was made possible through a partnership between the Community Health Center of Southeast Kansas, the University of Kansas School of Medicine, and the Mercy Hospital System. Well, most Americans believe children should be vaccinated against measles in order to attend school. A survey by Harvard found 79% of parents say the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine should be mandatory. The U.S. is currently in the midst of its worst measles outbreak in decades. 2 unvaccinated children have died. Lindsay is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later, the debate over carbon capture projects continues on Capitol Hill.
Well, we've had rain showers for most of the day today and even the last couple of days. Now, last 24 hours, most of us have only seen about a half an inch to about an inch of rain. Up in Lamar, they've seen about 5 inches of rain, which is the most we've seen. We already saw a little bit of flooding out there as well. Now, the Parsons area saw about 2 inches. Miami, about 3.5. We've had some heavier rain go down through the Oklahoma area, but taking a look at downtown Joplin right now, it's looking gorgeous. Camera's not angled quite right, but we do have a gorgeous sunset going on outside. If you can, I'd suggest stepping outside, taking a look. It is really beautiful, especially after all of this rain we've seen today. It's just what we needed, but unfortunately we have more rain coming, so all those showers are starting to die down. We're going to see some more rain showers moving into the area over the next couple of hours and even into tomorrow as well. Now, we're not looking at a severe threat at all, but some of these storms out near Tulsa and Oklahoma City are going to fire up and move into our area. More rain showers and thunderstorms coming through in the morning hours on Saturday, but again, not looking at anything severe. It is just going to be another dreary, drizzle, rainy, just inconvenient day overall through the morning hours. And you can see that threat drops down right about 2 to 3 p.m. But temperatures are only getting up to the mid-80s because those rain showers do keep us cool. Once all the rain clears out by Saturday afternoon, it's going to go back to humid and just muggy outside as all these rain showers clear out. Now, heading through the rest of the evening, still getting those clouds. You can see a nice sunset though, even though we have those overcast skies. Now those showers are dying down. We may see a few more moving in from Oklahoma into northeastern Oklahoma. Could be some thunderstorms, but again, low end, not severe. As they continue to push in, this is now 8:39 a.m., moving up along I-44 into northeastern Oklahoma. So Miami, Veneta getting some heavy rain all the way up to Columbus, Oswego. You might get some showers near the Pittsburgh area, definitely just slightly north of that Pittsburgh area up to Fort Scott, Butler, Nevada. All those are going to clear out, and we do have more showers staying south of I-44. Now by Saturday evening, clearing out. We even get to see potential for a sunset Saturday night without all the clouds, but more rain does start to move in by early Sunday morning, so it's about 3 to 4 a.m. into southeastern Kansas. All those showers and thunderstorms do move into the Joplin metro by Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Not looking severe, but we could definitely see some strong thunderstorms in that. And then that clears out by early afternoon to late morning Sunday. Now we do have recurring chances of thunderstorms Monday, a couple isolated storms on Tuesday. We're going to see more of these pop-up pole storms, what we see in the summertime, Tuesday through Saturday. So we've got these 20% chances, 10% chances, nothing widespread, but we typically get that in the summertime. We've got a lot of humidity,
Sure.
We get a lot of rising air. What does he do? It rises. So it just kind of adds to it, but those aren't severe.
Yeah, but it's been, rain in the morning, beautiful sunset at night.
Beautiful sunset. Can't complain about that.
Great way to end the day.
Yep.
Thanks, Lindsay. Coming up next, projects to reduce carbon dioxide.
Efforts to pump carbon dioxide from the air below the earth are on shaky ground. I'm Chanley Painter with a look at what's behind carbon capture projects. Coming up.
The future over whether Congress will keep tax credits for carbon capture projects remains unclear, but as of now, companies looking to offset their greenhouse gas emissions can partner with programs that vacuum carbon dioxide from the air and send it into the ground. Critics, however, say the process costs a pretty penny. For results they argue can't keep up with how much gas is being released. Fox News correspondent Chanley Painter takes a closer look.
With scientific reports continuing to cite the ongoing warming effects of greenhouse gas emissions generated by fossil fuel use and production, calls are intensifying for large corporations to reduce their impacts. But while carbon dioxide gas is being pumped into the air, facilities like this carbon capture plant in Texas, owned by energy company BKV Corp, are busy pumping it deep below the earth.
We take carbon dioxide, CO2, and inject it permanently in the ground and sequester it so that it's no longer in the atmosphere.
CO2 absorbs and gives off heat, but with more of this gas being released into the atmosphere, it's causing global temperatures to spike.
It's very important that we figure out real solutions to do these things in ways that sustain industries that are important to our economies.
Officials at BKV Corp expect the carbon capture industry to take off as more companies partner with capture projects to have their emissions offset. But some critics say the strategy is too costly and doesn't deliver enough results.
We are looking at facilities that might do 1 million tons of CO2 storage a year, some 5 million. Last year, we emitted 38 billion tons of CO2 worldwide.
And because companies can still receive tax credits for carbon capture projects, some critics say it enables them to still use fossil fuels at an alarming rate. Meanwhile, some wildlife experts are concerned about potential risk if captured carbon were to leak out. I'm Chanley Painter, Fox News.
On Wednesday, Nestle said it will eliminate synthetic food dyes from its U.S. food and beverage products by the middle of next year. Artificial ingredients have been under scrutiny from Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s Department of Health and Human Services. Nestle is now the latest food giant to announce changes like this. Kraft, Heinz, and General Mills recently detailed plans to remove all artificial colors from their products sold in the U.S. Nestle said that less than 10% of its U.S. food and beverage portfolio currently contains synthetic colors. It expects to have those fully removed over the next 12 months. The Trump administration's tariffs are taking a toll on toys. Prices for many dolls, stuffed animals, blocks, and games rose 2.2% between April and May. Analysts say that's an unprecedented increase, and it's largely the result of the U.S.'s new trade policies. According to the Census Bureau, roughly 75% of the toys sold in the U.S. come from China, which is currently dealing with a 30% tariff from the Trump administration. Earlier this year, the fee was as high as 145%. Economists say the tariffs on China are forcing many U.S. toy stores to raise their prices, and they expect this upward trend will continue. Up next, raising crops for the community.
Special Olympics does more than just powerlifting and track. More on this tonight.
We choose to be here.
Special Olympics Kansas has long raised the bar for athletic performance and sportsmanship, but it's now raising something else to benefit the community. KOAM's Ty Parks gives us a look at the organization's latest growing effort.
Our LE meetings, it was mentioned that Mosaic wanted to do a community garden, teach their patrons to be able to garden, learn self-sustaining life skills. And so with LE, we were able to get them raised garden beds with the hope within a year that they will be able to take what they have grown down to the farmers market.
Mosaic, L-Heat, and Special Olympics came together to make this possible. They all wanted to make a community garden because
there's so many different things you learn. It's kind of like having a pet. You've got to groom the garden, you need to nurture, feed, water, and make sure that everything does grow.
Aaron Fletcher from Special Olympics knows exactly about why they wanted a garden.
Special Olympics is more than a track meet, and we do health and wellness, and we have so many great programs for our athletes to stay healthy, learn about nutrition, and just be active in their communities.
This teaches more than how to garden and take care of the soil.
I hope to see from the raised beds is for the patients of Mosaic to be able to learn that self-autonomy, the responsibility, and be able to be so proud of themselves to be able to grow these vegetables and say, I grew this from a seed, take it, have it. This was mine, now it's yours.
These organizations are growing more than apples and bananas. They're growing better citizens. In Pittsburgh, Kansas, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
In addition to the service Special Olympics Kansas provides for the state, Mosaic serves another 52 communities in Kansas. Well, 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Coming up, Republicans race the clock to get President Trump's spending bill passed by July 4th, but Medicaid cuts and Senate rules may throw a wrench in the plan. And the Supreme Court sides with President Trump on nationwide injunctions and what that could mean for the future of birthright citizenship and other policies.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
It may not be much of a weekend shaping up for Republicans on Capitol Hill. They are scrambling to pass President Trump's so-called big beautiful bill, the cornerstone of his domestic agenda. And as Doug Luzader reports from Washington this morning, the GOP is running into some major speed bumps.
The 4th of July may still be a week away, but this is a complicated process and it needs to get moving this weekend if Republicans have any hope of meeting President Trump's deadline.
Mr. President, can Congress finish this by July 4th? We hope so.
President Trump optimistic yesterday that his big, beautiful spending bill will reach his desk by July 4th, but this is going to be dicey.
Their big, beautiful bill is buckling under its own weight.
Democrats seem to delight in the latest drama for the bill that would extend Trump's tax cuts from his first term, but trim entitlement programs like Medicaid to help offset the costs. And while the president may be the leader of the free world, the most powerful person in Washington right now may be Elizabeth McDonough. Not exactly a household name, but as the Senate parliamentarian, she determines whether the bill adheres to complicated Senate rules to bypass a filibuster. And among other issues, some of those Medicaid cuts, she says, cross the line. And that sends Senate Republicans back to square one.
Everything is challenging, but they're all speed bumps, and we have contingency plans, Plan B and Plan C.
The House, meantime, has already passed the bill, and they will have to sign off on any changes the Senate now makes. Some House Republicans say they won't let the Senate box them in pursuit of the July 4th deadline.
We're not going to get jammed on this. We're just not.
So now Senate Republicans will spend the weekend trying to make the new numbers work to ultimately get this to the president's desk 1 week from today, if they can. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
It is a tax that spooked Wall Street and global business leaders. Now it's being dropped from President Donald Trump's wide-ranging budget bill. The Treasury Department and Congress are killing a so-called revenge tax that would raise taxes on foreign investment. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Thursday announced a deal with G7 partners to exclude U.S. companies from some global taxes. That in exchange for the U.S. dropping the Section 899 tax code from the budget package. The tax code would have raised taxes on the income earned from U.S. assets held by individuals or businesses in other countries, with taxes the U.S. perceived as unfair for American businesses. The Supreme Court ended its term today with some major decisions, including one limiting the power of federal judges. The ruling also impacts the future of birthright citizenship. Fox's Rebecca Castor is at the Supreme Court to break it down.
This case centered on two major issues: nationwide injunctions and birthright citizenship. The justices did not weigh in on whether President Trump's ban on birthright citizenship is legal. Instead, they ruled lower courts do not have sweeping authority to influence policy across the country.
I want to just thank again the Supreme Court for this ruling. It's a giant.
The Trump administration is celebrating after the Supreme Court ruled Friday to limit nationwide injunctions, a legal tool federal judges have used to block at least 40 of the president's policies this term.
Here, the Supreme Court is agreeing with the Trump administration that these judges are well past their authority given to them.
Thanks to this decision, We can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis.
One of those policies is Trump's executive order ending birthright citizenship for children born to parents in the U.S. illegally. But this ruling doesn't mean the ban goes into effect immediately. The court put a 30-day hold on it, giving time for more legal challenges.
Most likely, that will be decided in October in the next session.
The court's 3 liberal judges dissented. Justice Sonia Sotomayor says the parents of children covered by the citizenship order would be well advised to file promptly class action suits and request temporary injunctive relief. Today, the justices also ruled that parents have the right to opt their children out of classes on LGBTQ topics, and insurance companies must continue to offer free preventative health services, a key Obamacare measure. At the Supreme Court, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Lindsay is next with another look at your forecast, and coming up, a Pittsburgh filmmaker turns a nightmare into big screen dreams.
Well, it's been rainy most of the day today. Let's go ahead and take a look at our rain amounts from today. So far, Lamar got the most amount of rainfall, up to 5 inches, and I even saw some areas were dealing with a bit of flooding. Now, Parsons got about 2 inches of rain. Miami about 3.5. Joplin only saw about 1/2 inch of rain. Not so much out in Joplin, but we did get some downpours of these storms. Now you can see, taking a look at downtown Joplin, we had a gorgeous sunset earlier. It is now super dark outside, sunset pretty quickly. Now, as we get into the rest of tonight, all those rain showers are dwindling down. You can see widespread rain turned into nothing, but we are watching some showers and thunderstorms that are going to be developing out near Tulsa, moving into our area, so we want to keep an eye on that. Nothing's going to be severe, but we are going to get those additional rain chances over the next couple of days, actually. So starting by about 5 to 6 a.m., rain showers return back to the area. You can see by 8 a.m., most of us are getting some heavy rainfall. It starts to clear out by mid-afternoon. So let's go ahead and look at our future track. The rest of the evening, again, those showers are dwindling. Clouds do break apart a little bit as we head into Saturday morning. So you're going to get some good sunrise up in southeastern Kansas, even north of Nevada as well. But out near Veneta and in northeastern Oklahoma, we're going to see some of these showers pushing into the area. Now, we're not expecting them to be severe, but could get some thunderstorms embedded in some of those showers. They're going to be moving in along I-44 and south, but you can see out near Caney, some of these showers, thunderstorms are going to develop, move through Parsons, Erie, Girard, going up to Fort Scott area, Nevada, may even affect Pittsburgh. This is going to be midday on Saturday and then clearing out. Showers south of I-44, again, mainly just light showers, really not looking at anything severe there. But then we get into Sunday. Sunday morning, pretty early, about 3 a.m., showers, thunderstorms moving into southeastern Kansas. Now these could be strong. Again, not looking at a severe threat, but they could be strong. Now they'll continue to push into the area along the Kansas-Missouri border, right along the I-49 corridor, and it's going to continue to push out towards the east once we get into midday on Sunday, so about noon to 1 p.m. And then we're looking at sunny skies, so looking pretty good. Could again still see some showers lingering as we have recurring chances of showers and thunderstorms Monday, Tuesday, mainly isolated storms due to those high temperatures. The same thing Wednesday, Thursday, and even into the 4th of July. And now we'll see our next bigger chance of more widespread rain, most likely on Sunday. But we still have a few more days to go of this widespread rain before we get back to those summertime, pop-up storms. Friday right now is looking pretty good. Yeah. So fingers crossed that it stays like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Lindsay. Still ahead, the Royals and Cardinals have major league matchups. Plus, the Joplin Outlaws take on the Abilene Flying Bison in a rematch of last year's Mid-America Championship. Ben McLeish has those stories and more up next in sports.
The Joplin Outlaws are at Joe Becker Stadium tonight for a huge matchup. They take on the Abilene Flying Bison in a rematch of last year's Mid-America League Championship. The Outlaws can take first place in the Mid-America League with the win over Abilene. Bottom of the first, Rayvon Morgan slaps this ball into center to put men on first and second with no outs. Then with 2 outs, this Brandon Midget walk loads the bases for Maverick Williamson, but Amir Enclada strikes out Williamson to end the outlaw rally. So we head to the second. Flying Bison have a man on third with 2 outs. Ty Zaradnik gets the batter to look at a called strike 3 to end the inning with no damage done. But in the bottom of the second, the Outlaws do some damage. The 9-hole hitter Blake Wilson drives this ball to left and into the parking lot as the Outlaws strike first. They lead 1-0 after 2, and they cruise to a 6-1 victory over the Flying Bison, moving Joplin to first place in the Mid-America League. In the major leagues, the Royals and Cardinals have matchups today and look to snap losing streaks. The Cardinals take care of business in Cleveland to snap theirs. They win 5-0 behind 2 RBI days from Alec Burleson and Nolan Arenado in a complete game shutout from Sonny Gray. Gray allows just 1 hit in his 9 innings pitched and racks up 11 strikeouts to put St. Louis back in the win column. And as we go live, the Dodgers cling to a 1-run lead over the Royals in the 8th. Bobby Witt Jr. hits a 2-run homer in the second to give Kansas City the lead, but the Dodgers storm back in the 5th to make it 5-4. The Royals have just 2 more innings to score a run. Their losing streak will go to 6 games. Last week, the Travelers Championship ended in chaos as Keegan Bradley stole first from Tommy Fleetwood with a birdie on the 18th hole. And this weekend, we've got the Rocket Classic, which concluded round 2 today. We've got a 3-way tie for first place after day 2. Phillip Knowles, Chris Kirk, and Andrew Putnam all finished 14 under, and Jackson Suber is 1 stroke behind the trio at 13 under. But some notable names missed the cut, which was 7 under after today. Keegan Bradley, coming off his tournament win, is cut at 6 under, along with Austin Eckroat. Matt Kuchar can't make the cut either at 4 under.
It's, you know, I love it when we talk about golf, or when I talk about golf, because you can, even the professionals, they come off a week of riding high, winning the whole, you know, tournament, and then getting cut the next week.
Yeah,
so,
and it's pretty crazy that the cut was at 7 under today.
Yeah, if you think back a few weeks ago, we were talking about this. The cut was, I think the cut was 5 over just a few weeks ago at the U.S. Open Championship. So
that's wild.
Quite the difference, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll be right back. A local filmmaker out of Pittsburgh, Kansas is ready to present his latest short film project. KOAM's Mitch Adams brings us more details.
It's a leap from Hollywood, but a supportive Midwestern vibe leaves room to stretch and succeed. Brian Lewandowski grew up in Pittsburgh, Kansas. Growing up, he always had aspirations to make art.
As far as I can remember, I got into filmmaking because it had all the art forms in one, and I felt like I would never get bored of that when I would, because I knew, like, growing up, okay, if I choose this art form, maybe I get bored of that one, or maybe I get bored of this one, or maybe I just got good enough at one of them. So filmmaking for me was like a way where I knew I would never get bored, and I can invest my time into something that had, it was an amalgamation of all these art forms wrapped into one.
Around 10 years ago, Lewandowski moved to Los Angeles to try and become a director. During that span, he spent most of his time writing, crafting, and becoming well-rounded in multiple different skills.
So you kind of let time let you develop that skill long enough. So like over the course of 10 years, I really focused more on screenwriting, but then cinematography I'd kind of dabble in a little bit, like shooting weddings with my wife and stuff. That kind of helped keep me sharp on the cinematography side. And then, but I think a lot of those things I had to just kind of let time help me get there.
The lead actor in the film, Travis Casey, is normally behind the camera in a technical role. He took the role in The Clayman to help Lewandowski with casting, feeling the chemistry between them right away.
I'm more of a filmmaker than an actor, but I love the acting thing. Is really fun, so I'm open to it. But in the future, I'd see Brian and I as like a filmmaking team, along with some other local people. As many people as we can bring together, and and get local projects going, the better. So,
with the event gaining traction on social media, the Clay Man will have its first showing in the community it was created in.
Once you get to that point where you've truly mastered enough skill sets, your community will support you if you've done that much. And I think that's what Pittsburgh's done thus far. They've really come behind me and supported me, and I couldn't be happier.
In Pittsburgh, Kansas, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
The premiere for The Clay Man will begin at 7:30 in the evening tomorrow. Tickets will be available at the door, but Lewandowski suggests buying tickets online to guarantee a spot. Lilo and Stitch return. Adam Sandler hits the road, and Emma Stone goes from CEO to possible alien in today's Hollywood Nation. A comedy legend is on the move, and a mischievous alien plans a comeback. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin has the latest in today's Hollywood Nation.
Stone's twisted comedy Sandler hits the road again, and Lilo and Stitch return for round 2 in the Hollywood Nation. Get ready! Lilo and Stitch are gearing up for another wild ride. Disney has confirmed a sequel to the hit 2025 live-action remake, announcing the news on June 26th. A nod to Stitch's original codename, Experiment 626. A teaser shows the mischievous alien cruising the Disney lot in a hot pink convertible, leaving his mark. Since its May 23rd release, the remake has pulled in over $910 million worldwide. Adam Sandler is going for more laughs city by city. The comedian is following up his sold-out 2022 and 2023 shows with a new stand-up tour, You're My Best Friend. The 30-plus arena run kicks off in Jacksonville, Florida, September 5th. Jude Law and Jason Bateman face sibling rivalry in today's first looks. Netflix released images for the limited series Black Rabbit, which stars and is executive produced by both actors. Law plays the owner of a hot New York nightclub, while Bateman stars as his estranged brother, whose unexpected return stirs up old wounds and new threats. The show premieres September 18th.
Good morning, Corey.
Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, and Aidan Delbus star in the trailer for the dark comedy Begonia. Stone plays a powerful CEO kidnapped by 2 conspiracy-obsessed men who believe she's an alien plotting to destroy Earth. The film opens in limited release October 24th before going wide on Halloween. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you with a video of a panda eating some bamboo at a China zoo. Have a great night.